wind. Maybe not going to impact your morning much at all, but it's all the stuff that you might have planned later this evening, right, Matt?
Yeah, and the window is going to be fairly narrow. I mean, it's probably going to storm where you live for, let's say, about 2 hours.
Okay.
The rest of the day is dry. It's just in those 2 hours, it could be kind of strong and be pretty intense.
You know, right when you're heading to dinner, heading home during rush hour.
It's all of
Yeah,
it.
when you're trying to do stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So timing is pretty important.
Timing is key. And I thought we'd also look through some of these severe zones. Like, what do these colors really even mean? So let's kind of walk through some of these and we'll break it down threat by threat. Before we get to that, I want to show you where the front is. It's just about to clear Kansas City. It's that front that's going to spark some of these severe storms, generally after 4 o'clock. I think 5, 6, 7, 8 is kind of that sweet spot for the biggest storms. Now, we do have a couple storms in southern Indiana, a couple hailers right there, right along the Ohio River. But I think we're going to stay dry here at home for this morning. All those storms will be to our south. So nice dry day until about 4 or 5 o'clock. All right, so you see all these colors. Yeah, we know up to level 4 to the south, but what does that exactly mean? So let's go through some of these hail threats and wind threats and kind of talk about what we're thinking. So when we look at each threat, each one has kind of a different potential. How bad could it be for that specific thing, like wind or hail? So we'll start with hail. The orange color shows you we could get hailstones the size up to about the size of a hen egg or a tennis ball, about 2.5 inches or so. So that could cause some damage across parts of central Indiana. We think the largest hail, possibly even up to baseball-sized hail, that'll be farther to the south. There's a little bit more energy, a little bit more lift. You can carry bigger stones farther to the south, so that's the reason why. Now I'll talk about the tornado risk. We're at a medium category for most of us here in central Indiana. I think it is higher off towards the south, where there'll be slightly a little bit more rotation in the atmosphere. Farther north you go, that tornado threat does go down. Let's talk about winds, because I think most storms will be able to produce some winds, but how fast? I think for most of us around central Indiana, about 70-mile-per-hour gusts. You know, that's the same thing as, let's say, an EF0 tornado. So there are going to be some wind damage reports, we think, across the state. But as soon as you get to Bloomington and Brown County and Columbus and south to Bedford and Seymour, that's where there could be winds up to 80 miles per hour. Generally, why? The jet stream's a little bit faster, and some of those faster winds may be able to make it to the ground. So hopefully that kind of explains what kind of threats are we even talking about. Generally, the farther north you go, there's a trend where each one was a little bit weaker. So let's talk about timing, because this is crucial, right? We have so many things going on. It's Fast Friday. The Indians they play at home. We've got Purdue graduations. We think for the western part of the state, about 5 to 7 o'clock for that main time window. You know, we may have to adjust these by an hour or so, but I think this gives us a good idea. 5 to 7 for western Indiana. Closer to Indianapolis, 6 to 9 o'clock will be the stormiest time period, and 7 to 10 for our friends in eastern Indiana. So let's walk through this. This morning, we're fine. Yeah, you do see some storms off to the south. We don't have to worry about those here at home. It is going to be a warm day. It's going to be a sunny day. It's going to be kind of humid like we were yesterday. Here is 4 o'clock. Now, I can't rule out the chance for maybe a spotty shower popping up before the main line gets here, but you're going to be watching these supercells develop in Illinois, and over time as they march towards Indiana, they're going to get bigger. There'll be these clusters of severe threats. Now, there could be little breaks in between some of the bigger storms, and some of you may just get kind of in one of those breaks where it's not too bad. But we think that thing sweeps through 6, 7, 8 o'clock, very stormy, a lot of wind, a lot of lightning with these storms too. And then after 8, 9 o'clock, a lot of this is out of here. There could be kind of a lingering downpour or two after that, but most of the severe threats will be done here by about 8 o'clock or so. So that's some good news. Here's your 7-day forecast. Weather impact alert today. Once we can get through the storms this evening, clearing skies tonight, the weekend, my goodness, looks beautiful. Mid-70s, great for the breakfast at the Brickyard. Next week, Julia, you do see a couple lightning bolts. We don't think there's too much severe weather next week, just some rain and rumbles every once in a while before we get towards that big, important weekend the following weekend.
I know. I notice it's not on your forecast just yet. And that's
getting close.
All okay. Matt, thank you. Well, coming up here on 13 Sunrise, hey, W fans, fever season is around the corner.
You can support one of the hottest teams in the league right now as they kick off the regular season.